What's up, YouTube? Welcome to the Coffee Pod. My name is Chisha Zed.
Drink the coffee, it'll make you feel better.
Breaking news, Tory Lanez has been found guilty on all charges. Wow. 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 And following the announcement of that news, which was, of course, not what any of us were expecting, was another headline that read, Tory Lanez has been taken into custody and will be sentenced January 27th. Listen, man, I am honestly shocked. Shocked by the announcement of this news. I think before I do anything else, I'm just going to go ahead and read these comments for you guys because, of course, a lot of people have a lot to say about the turnout of this case. First comment here comes from a woman that's actually directed towards Drake. It says, hey, at Champagne Poppy, when do we get redacted? And so she's like, when are you gonna take back what you said? Of course, referring to Drake's song where he takes a shot at Megan Thee Stallion. Next comment here says, love this early Christmas gift. Another woman here says, R. Kelly featuring Tory Lanez trapped in the cell. Next, another comment says, happy about the verdict, but very surprised. I expected at least a mistrial. With the way everything was looking, Tory Lanez DNA not found in the gun being inconclusive and inconsistencies with stories from Meg, I don't think anybody expected this to turn out the way it did, but it was a crazy trial. So right along with the way everything's been going. Next comment here says, I wonder who gonna keep his hairline together in there. So they're clowning on Tory Lanez here. Next comment here from another woman says, either way it goes, Meg finna get all types of negative BS. Another person says, don't drop the soap, clank, clank. Next comment, nice knowing you. Great music, by the way. Next comment, y'all still gonna say, don't know who shot her because y'all hate being wrong. This commenter says, y'all caused this woman so much trauma. And the last comment here reads, finally, now we can stop hearing about this. And so a little bit more information here. You guys may be wondering more about those 3 counts and what exactly could Tory Lanez be facing after this guilty verdict. I'm going to read this post from the New York Times. It read, a Los Angeles jury on Friday found Daystar Peterson, the Canadian rapper, better known as Tory Lanez, guilty of shooting a fellow artist, Megan Thee Stallion, in both her feet, following an argument after their romantic entanglements and respective careers in the summer of 2020. The article goes on to read, Mr. Lanez, 30, was convicted of 3 felony counts. The first one being AS with a semi-automatic hand, carrying a loaded, unregistered fire vehicle, and discharging fire with gross negligence. He faces more than 20 years, sheesh, in prison and could be deported. Jurors reached a verdict after about 7 hours of deliberation across 2 days. Following a trial that lasted nearly 2 weeks, Mr. Lanez, who had been free on bail during the trial following a period of house arrest, was immediately taken into custody. Sentencing was scheduled for January 27th. Megan Thee Stallion was not present in court as the verdict was read. Mr. Lanez appeared motionless and stared straight ahead until his father stood up and began shouting at the judge and prosecutors, God will judge you, he said as bailiffs moved to block his path. I believe there's a real good lesson to be learned here, especially for men who've been observing this case. Unfortunately, for Tory Lanez, it didn't work out in his favor, but you can still learn a lot about this case. Number one being the type of people you as a man choose to associate yourself with. And in this specific situation, I'm talking about the type of women you choose to associate yourself with. Now, putting this whole situation aside and looking at this from the perspective of like the drama that surrounded and triggered these events. As men overall, what we can learn from this is that sexual discipline is very important. The women who you decide to associate with are very important. The lifestyle you choose to live is very important. Many men have gone out just like this, right? There was alcohol, there were guns, there was drama, there were women, lots of women, and lack of self-control. Now, obviously, I don't necessarily agree with this verdict. It's just the information and the evidence that's been released. But who knows what was talked about? Hopefully, more is revealed as time goes by. This is my genuine reaction. I'm kind of like actually surprised at how this turned out. And as always, curious to know what you guys think. Leave your comments down below. I appreciate you for checking out yet another episode of The Coffee Pot. Till next time, I'm out. Peace.